Mayor Tuck, thanks for coming by. Southeastern Development Associates are investing $60 million to purchase and redevelop the Riverdale Shopping Center. It's going to have a Kroger Marketplace in the Peninsula's first at-home. I thought you'd like to know.
You're the man, Leonard. Can't wait for the grand opening, but I gotta go.
Mr. Mayor, Hampton has added more than 3,300 jobs over the last 4 years, and we've got more to come. I was sure you'd want to know.
That's awesome, Eleanor. But please excuse me, I've got to go.
Mayor Tuck, we hosted 24,000 boys and girls basketball players this past year. Youth sports are big in Hampton. I thought you'd like to know.
And I do. Can't wait till the next tournament, but I really gotta go.
Mayor Tuck, Hampton University has one of only 10 satellite dishes nationwide capable of receiving near real-time information on severe weather events. Thought you'd like to know.
Bill, that's so great for our resident safety, and I'd love to hear more, but right now I've got to go.
Mr. Mayor, Arconic is manufacturing some of the most advanced turbine airfoils in our facility here in Hampton, Virginia. Thought you'd like to know.
That is outstanding, Jack, and I'd like to know more, but right now I've got to go.
Your Honor, Hampton was once again ranked as a top 10 digital city in the nation. We've received this honor the last 15 out of 16 years. Thought you'd like to know.
And I couldn't be more proud to see you, but I gotta go.
Hi, Mayor Tuck, great to see you. My high-tech startup, Pancopia Peninsula Technology Incubator, just won a $750,000 Small Business Innovation Research Grant to develop a biological wastewater system for the space station. Just thought you wanted to know.
That's great news, Bill, and I'd really love to learn more, but please understand, I've got to go.
Mr. Mayor, it's good to see you. Hunter B. Andrews went from a denied accreditation status to a fully accreditation status within the same year. Our students and teachers are so proud, and we thought you would like to know.
That's great news, and I promise I'll come back soon to celebrate with everyone, but right now, I've really got to go.
Mayor, where you got to go?
I got to go deliver the State of the City address.
My name is Mike Kuntz, and I'm with the Virginia Peninsula Chamber of Commerce. The purpose of the State of the Cities series is to showcase the diverse attributes and strengths of Hampton, Newport News, and the Peninsula, and demonstrate why they're such a great place to live, work, and grow. Thank you to Old Point National Bank for once again stepping up as the series presenting sponsor. Your continued dedication and leadership within the Peninsula community and beyond is truly invaluable. And thanks to all the other sponsors, as noted in today's program, particularly the series gold sponsor, Bon Secours Virginia Health System. They were the series sponsor. The gold sponsor for the event is Coliseum Central, and silver series sponsors are Cox, Liebherr, and Thomas Nelson. I would now like to recognize a few special guests, among them, among all of you who are very, very special guests. And you've heard this before, but this is the dangerous part of the program. First of all, could we have all the veterans rise, please? Thank you. Thank you for your service. And it's fitting that we first introduce the commanding officer of the Joint Base Langley Eustis, Colonel Caroline Miller, and the Command Chief Kenan Arnold. We also have the delegate of the 80th District, Matthew James, delegate of the 93rd District, Senator-elect of the 1st District, Monty Mason, and a representative from Marcia Price's office. We also have DeMonte Boone, who's from Bobby Scott's office. Constitutional officers from the city of Hampton, B.J. Roberts, the sheriff. We have Ross Mugler, Commissioner of Revenue, Anton Bell, Commonwealth's attorney, and Bob Williams, the treasurer. Other partners in the area, Dr. John Dever, President of Thomas Nelson Community College, Mike Dunphy, Hampton VA Medical Center Director, and Terry E. Brown, Superintendent, Fort Monroe National Monument. Our regional partners, we have Rick Weddle, the President and CEO of Hampton Roads Economic Development Alliance, and Bob Crum, the Executive Director of the Hampton Roads Planning District Commission. Hampton's neighbors, we have Mayor McKinley Price, Councilwoman Sandra Cherry, Bert Bateman, Councilman, and Jim Bory, the City Manager, Newport News. And our host city today, we have, you just saw Mayor Donnie Tuck run in. And we have Vice Mayor Linda Curtis, Councilman Jimmy Gray, Councilman Billy Hobbs, Councilman Will Moffitt, Councilman Teresa Schmidt, and Councilwoman Chris Sneed. And also we have City Manager Mary Bunting, Superintendent of Hampton City Schools, Dr. Jeffrey Smith, and the former Mayor George Wallace. And joining the mayor at his table today is his wife, Robbie Tuck. And I'd like to ask the chamber board members if they would stand, and the past chairs of the chamber. I know there are a few former chairs of the chamber. If they would just stand for recognition. Thank you. Whew. Okay, did I miss anybody? Raise your hand if I missed you. Okay, we got you. Thanks. Oh, Hampton Clerk of the Circuit Court. Boy, I should really have not missed this. Linda Batchelder Smith. Thank you. Would you all please rise for the presentation of colors and render appropriate honors, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance until the color guard retires. Presenting the colors is the Kecoughtan High School Naval JROTC Color Guard. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. It is my honor to introduce to you the Hampton City Manager and the Hampton School Superintendent. First, for Mary Bunting, the City Manager. In 2009, Mary was appointed the first female City Manager for the City of Hampton, and that position was created in 1956. Mary began her career with the City of Hampton as assistant to the City Manager, then the Assistant City Manager, and in 2012, she was named a White House Local Innovation Champion of Change. She holds a master's degree in public administration from Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs at Syracuse University and a Bachelor of Arts degree from Johns Hopkins. Dr. Jeffrey Smith began his tenure as superintendent of Hampton City Schools in July of 2015. He was previously superintendent in the town of West Point Public Schools, a school division that continues to be recognized at state and national levels for students' stellar academic achievement. He's worked as a classroom teacher, an assistant principal, a principal, assistant superintendent in the areas of academics and instructional services. Dr. Smith earned his doctorate degree in educational leadership and policy studies at Virginia Tech, his master's at VCU, and his bachelor's at Virginia Union University. Please welcome City Manager Mary Bunting and Superintendent Dr. Jeffrey Smith.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you again for being here. Can we just pause to celebrate our students who both sang to you as you were coming in, our Hampton High School choir students, as well as, again, the Kecoughtan High School students who graced us with the honor guard today. As you know, my day-to-day job for the city is being city manager of this great community. I dearly love this job because it gives me a chance to give back to the community that made me who I am today. For those of you who do not know, I am a proud graduate of the Hampton Public School System and of this community. I am who I am, as I said, because of Hampton. So my job as city manager has many exciting components. You've already heard about some of our great economic development successes in the mayor's earlier video, and certainly you will hear more when you hear from him shortly. Another part of my job is making sure that we have effective and efficient city services that make our residents enjoy their quality of life in Hampton. We want everything to work effectively and at the lowest possible price for our residents. Like Newport News, we have an annual citizen survey, and last week we announced the results. A highlight for me was the 92.3% positive rating our residents gave the overall work performance of our city employees. That's incredible, 92.3%. This benchmark is proof in the pudding that we are consistently exceeding that key priority of efficient and quality services. Now, I could certainly spend a lot of time talking about the great work of our city employees and the things that we do day in and day out, and I'd be glad to do that. Their superior rating is reflected in the heart and soul they bring to their job every day. And that's probably what you expected me to do today. But instead, I've asked my staff to put some of those key statistics up for you while you're eating lunch. And I'd rather focus on the great transformation that's going on in our Hampton City schools. You see, I have a great passion for our city schools as well as for my city departments. Working with Dr. Smith, our fantastic school superintendent, enables me to help make sure that we offer a great quality of life not only to our homeowners and renters, but also to the young people in our community. And it is my pleasure to support the powerful transformation work that's going on in our schools.
Thank you so much. And I would ask that you would please join me as we acknowledge an outstanding leader in terms of our city manager. Please acknowledge her this morning. Thank you for your leadership.
Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, I cannot tell you how wonderful it is to have a school board. I would ask members of the school board, please stand quickly to acknowledge them, and members of our city team in terms of our city manager, our city council, who are all invested in our schools. Mary, our city manager, is absolutely right. We are true partners in every sense of the word. We recognize that our city's success is ultimately our school division's success, and that our school division's success is ultimately the city's success as well. Hampton City Schools understands that it is our job to prepare our young people to reach their full potential. When our young people walk across that stage, we want them to be college, career, and life ready. We understand the value added of all of our schools being fully accredited, as well as the importance of young people not only graduating on time, but more importantly, prepared for their next chapters, whether that chapter might be that of being employed, enlisted, or enrolled. As a part of our Academies of Hampton High School transformation, we have adopted an aggressive plan in which 95% of our young people in terms of the class of 2021 will graduate not only on time, but also with other important skills and credentials when they walk across that stage. And I would be remiss if I did not highlight some of the success in these particular areas. I am delighted to share with you that we moved the needle from 41% of our schools being fully accredited to 55% of our schools fully accredited. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the highest rate in 4 years. We graduated 3 Gates Millennium Scholars who were ultimately selected from more than 53,000 applicants nationwide. And Mr. Mayor, I thought you'd want to know that we only had 22 of those scholars in the entire state in terms of our Commonwealth. I think that deserves a round of applause. And Hampton City Schools improved the graduation rate by nearly 19 percentage points since 2008, with a 90.7% on-time graduation rate. We top 60% of other divisions in Virginia. We have decreased our dropout rate from 5.1% to 2.8%. Our dropout rate is lower than 83% of other divisions in Virginia. And I'm equally proud to share with you that the class of 2016 earned more than $30 million in scholarships and grants, and that Hampton City Schools was ranked #1 in the nation for technology use. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Those are certainly major accomplishments, but I also want to share with you that I'm a mother of 3 children in the Hampton City Schools. I have been in their classrooms from elementary school all the way now up to high school, and the quality instruction and work that's going on in Hampton City Schools is not something new. We're building and improving statistics every day, but I can tell you I could not have been more pleased with the quality of instruction that my 3 children have received while attending Hampton City Schools. And if you haven't been in a Hampton City school in a while, I truly encourage you to make a visit. Many of our facilities have been significantly upgraded with your tax dollars. We have addressed infrastructure, safety, and aesthetics, and our kids have the best technology available. Hampton was the first area school to put an iPad or a Chromebook in the hands of every middle and high school student so they can learn all the great technology and how to put it to use in a smart way. Northrop Grumman Foundation helped Sims Middle School to have the first state-of-the-art Fab Lab. But and I want to stress that, all of our middle and high schools have 3D printers and other modern workplace technologies. Of course, the true test of any school division is the instruction that goes on in the building. And as I said, I can personally testify to the great education my children and all children are getting in Hampton City Schools.
Hampton City Schools also understands that in addition to graduating highly competent and fully contributing students, we have a major role in the city's economic development success. We know that our students are the future workforce. So, as we develop our Career Academy offerings, we're now partnering in a very strong way with our city, the Peninsula Workforce Development Council, Chamber of Commerce, and so many other business and community leaders. If you're partnering with us today, please stand. We want to acknowledge all of the great work that you're doing on behalf of our young people as partners with Hampton City Schools. Please stand so that we can acknowledge you at this time. It is for us about the relevance in terms of the teaching and learning. Our efforts will be aligned with the needs of current employers. And also as we move forward, we want to make certain that as we go forward, that in the Hampton Roads area, that we are addressing the current needs as well as the projected needs. We want our students to graduate with the necessary knowledge and skills as well as the credentials to meet the demands of the workforce. It is also important that we identify and know the industries that the business community want and expect to grow in our region. That's important for us. So then that we can educate, train, and also prepare our young people for the workforce that is certainly ahead. We look forward to partnering with you as we go forward.
I am so proud to be the co-chair with Dr. Smith of Hampton's Steering Committee for the Ford Next Generation Learning High School Transformation Process. For those of you not aware of the Ford NGL program, they are committed to helping select high schools across the country develop state-of-the-art career academies for all students in what's known as a wall-to-wall academy community. Since Hampton City Schools already had 4 career academies, the biomedical program at Bethel High School, the aerospace and information technology program at Hampton, the Architecture and Applied Arts program at Kecoughtan, and the Advanced Engineering and Robotics program known as IDEA at Phoebus, Hampton City Schools was a natural candidate to join this powerful coalition. These career academies offer relevance-based instruction so that students have a direct understanding of how difficult subjects like algebra and physics relate to the career that they hope to pursue one day. Students get instruction not just from national board certified teachers, but also business mentors. As but one example, Langley Air Force Base fighter pilots have helped our students see why these subjects are so critical. This kind of learning excites and motivates students.
Just to illustrate an example of our great city partnership, I'm pleased to announce that one of our new Career Academy offerings will be that in the area of public safety in terms of a public safety academy. Imagine the opportunity that students will have to join the workforce and to have real life experiences. Imagine with me whether they want to desire that of a police officer, whether they want to move into the area of that of looking at forensic scientists and wanting to do that, or that of a lawyer, or even that of a judge, to have mentors to come into our schools and to experience and to understand the real work and the relevance in terms of that learning based upon those mentorships. Whether they're studying algebra or physics, we want them to learn and to understand how to put that into context. Or when they're studying chemistry, they use crime scene in the lab in terms of those particular chemicals, and they figure out how to solve problems. Or when they read classic American literature and study American history, they read To Kill a Mockingbird and understand how those implications not only applied during the era of the civil rights movement, but to understand in the current day how to apply and what those implications might be. This is what we want our students to look forward to, and this is what we want you to look forward to as you partner with us, and we want to thank you for your partnership.
We have already seen a difference in standardized test performances with these academies. You know, I talked about the 4 academies that we already have. And that's why we're very excited to look to expand Career Academy offerings to all students so they can have that career-based relevance experience. I personally visited Nashville, Tennessee, one of the first communities to actually go to wall-to-wall academies to understand the power of these learning environments. While I was there, I learned that since Nashville adopted the comprehensive academy approach, student performance has skyrocketed. Even more importantly, other social indicators such as gang participation have improved as well. In Nashville, fewer students are joining gangs as an example. Their gang participation rate has dropped significantly. And we know that when we make these powerful investments in our students, we can achieve social benefits as well as educational ones. And that's why I'm so pleased that Dr. Smith asked me to co-chair this transformation process. I see it, as I said earlier, as an equally important part of my job as city manager to work with Dr. Smith to expand these offerings so that all high school students will have that relevant-based career certification learning process so they can propel themselves to realize their dreams. Whether that's to exit immediately to employment or to pursue advanced education, we want them to already have that strong foundation in their high school years.
As a part of that Public Safety Academy, I would ask that Chief Salt, if you would kindly stand, and that partnership will be certainly with the Hampton Police Division. We want to acknowledge that strong partnership. Please stand so that we can acknowledge you, and thank you for your work.
If I might just say real quickly, you know, this is an aside. One of the powerful things, and I hope you all will see this as business members as well, is that in the police department, we know we have baby boomers who are going to be retiring. So not only are we able to offer our students that firsthand experience in the crime scene or understanding, you know, how math and science apply to everyday problems the police approach, but we know as an employer that we can fill a void that we're going to have with upcoming retirement. So students can come out and we can hire them, and both of the needs get met, both for the students and as an employer, which is one of the reasons why we're so really pleased to do this partnership.
Absolutely. Thank you again. And this is what the city of Hampton and Hampton City Schools, what we're doing together. We will have similar offerings with other business partners so that we can offer every city student the chance to pursue career dream while they are in school with us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what transformation really looks like. It's when we can bring relevance into the classroom, have companies working with us, and we hope that the companies look forward to that journey with us as a part of Hampton City Schools. This is our students' future, not only our students' future, but yours as well. Together, we will make a difference in the lives of our young people. We want individuals to recognize that when they come to this area and see and visit Hampton, we want to ensure that they understand that Hampton and our region are known for first-class education and a strong workforce, that we have individuals ready to move into the workforce. It has been a pleasure working with the business partners, and we look forward to building from those places of strength.
Now, Dr. Smith and I have two requests of you today. First, you may notice that there are note cards at each of your place settings. We have provided these note cards so that you can leave an inspirational message for our students. Each of your tables has been assigned to one of Hampton's fine schools, and you probably see the name of your school at your table. We ask that you take a moment today while you're dining or afterwards to encourage our students to stay focused on their studies and remain excited about the careers to which they can aspire. Our students always enjoy knowing they have the support of our community.
Following today's lunch, Mary and I, along with the mayor and school board chairman Jason Samuels, as well as other members of our governing bodies, will deliver the centerpieces and your message to our schools. We look forward to reading your messages on tomorrow morning in terms of during the time of our announcements. Our other request, it is this, that you join with us as partners. We ask that you would learn more about the opportunity in terms of how to partner with us as we transform our high schools. We look forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, I say this to you: good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is your best. That's the journey that we're on.
Let me assure you that any investment you make in understanding and participating in this high school transformation process will be well worth your time, both in the short term with the immediate gratification of working with enthusiastic and energetic young people, and in the long term as an investment in our community and its economic viability. I know you're all busy people. Like me, you're in charge of companies. I have a city to run and about 2,000 employees I'm responsible for. But I've made this commitment because I believe in this school division and its leaders, I believe in our kids, and I believe in our community. I came back to Hampton after college and graduate school from a job far away because Hampton is a very special place. And I want to make sure that my children, your children, and all of our community's children have that same chance to come back to great jobs right here in Hampton and our region. Please help us achieve that goal. I will close with a video produced by our very own Hampton business, Metro Productions, highlighting just a few reasons why existing and new businesses and residents continue to choose Hampton. Thank you for your time.
Hampton, Virginia, a city steeped in history, but always looking ahead. Economy and employment provide the spark for any community. Hampton's major employers continue to be a huge part of the city's lifeblood, along with the many federal facilities in the area. The city has a unique blend of small to large businesses and is seeing the revitalization of several historic buildings. And we are experiencing a growing innovation in our high-tech industries as well, through companies such as IV Watch and Hampton University's Proton Therapy Institute. Our children are our future, and that's why education is so important to us. We're making sure our young ones have access to the latest technology and programs. We're providing workforce education and more at Thomas Nelson Community College. And in the heart of downtown, Hampton University continues to grow as a world-class research university. Our neighborhoods are as diverse as the people who live in them. From historic neighborhoods to high-end communities, Hampton offers a welcoming atmosphere for families. And Hampton's new housing developments showcase the city's growth and expansion for new residents as well. From the historic stone walls of Fort Monroe to its vast waterways, to the smooth sand of Buckrow Beach and the iconic design of the Hampton Coliseum, Hampton has something for every interest. Thousands of visitors a year come to our museums and attractions, like the Virginia Air and Space Center, the Hampton History Museum, and many more. And Hampton's many public parks and event venues offer families and tourists alike a one-of-a-kind experience. Interested in culture or art? Take part in an eclectic mix of shows, plays, and the vibrant music scene in Hampton. From the American Theater and Charles H. Taylor Art Center to the Victorian Station. And then there's the ever-changing dining and retail scene. Hampton has a growing culture of independent and creative restaurants and successful breweries. Peninsula Town Center and the expansion of Coliseum Central now offer more options than ever before. Hampton's business expansions, renovations, and redevelopments prove that the city of Hampton is moving full speed ahead. Whether for home, work, or play, there has never been a better time to choose Hampton.
Rob and his wife Lori reside in Hampton with their 3 children, Megan, Taylor, and Nicole. Rob was recently named Virginia Association of Community Banks Community Banker of the Year for 2016 for his leadership and community involvement, and for his contributions to Old Point National Bank. And there's no correlation to the fact that he was named CEO and community banker during his tenure as chair of the chamber. I just thought I'd mention that. Please welcome Rob Shuford.
Thank you very much, Mike. And thank you to everyone in attendance today as we learn about and show support for the many great things happening in the city of Hampton. Old Point is pleased to sponsor for the 3rd year the Hampton State of the City with the Virginia Peninsula Chamber of Commerce. At Old Point, we are proud of our history of service to Hampton and the entire Hampton Roads community. It is Old Point's mission to provide our customers with innovative banking products and financial services. When you become part of the Old Point family, you have access to generations of expertise, provided face-to-face by people that you know and trust. 100% of our employees live, work, and shop in the footprint in which we serve. And we pride ourselves in creating a better community every day. Today, I have the great honor to introduce our keynote speaker. Mayor Donnie Tuck received his Bachelor of Arts in Public Policy Studies from Duke University, a fine school, I might add, and earned his Master of Arts in Public Administration from Old Dominion University. He has held an array of positions from TV reporter at WTVD Channel 11 to public relations for the Washington Redskins to division manager for Norfolk's Department of Public Works. Mayor Tuck serves on a number of committees and boards, including Hampton Roads Transportation Accountability Commission, Hampton Roads Military and Federal Facilities Alliance, and Office of Human Affairs, just to name a few. He has also volunteered with Big Brothers and Peninsula Habitat for Humanity, just some of the many ways he has demonstrated his passion for youth and our community. Mayor Tuck previously served on the Hampton City Council from June 2010 through June 2016. On July 1st, 2016, he began serving as Hampton's mayor. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Mayor Donnie Tuck.
Good afternoon and welcome. I want to thank the Peninsula Chamber of Commerce for hosting the State of the City, and thank each of you for coming from across the peninsula and from the South Side. I want to begin by acknowledging our great City Council, our Vice Mayor Linda Curtis, Council members Jimmy Gray, Billy Hobbs, Will Moffitt, Teresa Smith, and Chris Sneed, and also our City Manager Mary Bunting. I also want to thank the members of the Newport News City Council for coming, particularly Mayor Price. I thought last month his State of the City address was just so splendid that I asked him to deliver mine and he turned me down. And the worst thing about it was the next day I saw City Manager Jim Borey at a luncheon and I asked him to do it. And he doesn't realize how much courage it took and how much pride I had to swallow for a Duke graduate to ask an NC State man for a favor. And he still turned me down. So here I am, folks. But seriously, as a child, I had two aspirations. One was to hold elected office, and the second was to play organized football. Well, following life's different paths, it took almost 50 years for me to make the first objective a reality, and that was when I was elected to Hampton City Council in May 2010. The other objective was actually, it took much, much longer, but I will tell you that if I had the size in high school of Sheriff B.J. Roberts or Steve Lynch, and I had my heart, I would have been a high school All-America. But the fact of it is, I was too small to play football in junior high and high school. But back in 1978, when I was a TV reporter for a station in Durham, North Carolina, I suited up to play running back for a local high school. Now, some of you may say that it was a crazy idea, but I believe then, as I do believe now, that sometimes you have to step outside of your comfort zone. You have to take risks in order to achieve things that you view as important. And I share that today as a metaphor for how I approach the goal of attaining our city's vision. There are some among you who would wonder why I would resign my council seat to run for mayor. And the answer is that I wanted the opportunity to tackle the challenges that are facing most of our cities in America today. And that's making neighborhoods safer, schools better, and economic opportunities more plentiful. Now, I'm elated to be working with a top-notch city manager and city staff and alongside council members who are equally committed to making Hampton a place where you can earn a living and raise families. And in fact, Governor McAuliffe just recently announced that 189 new jobs will be created in Hampton. Jobs that will benefit not only Hampton citizens, but also citizens across Hampton roads. Hampton is a city that is steeped in over 400 years of history. We're the oldest continuous English-speaking city in the United States. It was on our shores in 1619 that the first enslaved Africans arrived in British North America. I wonder what would John Rolfe, who witnessed and wrote about that scene, would think today to see the progressive and diverse city that Hampton has become. Now, how does the world see us? Well, like many communities in our region, Hampton is host to significant federal government functions, from Langley Air Force Base to NASA Langley Research Center. And the people who have worked there have made Hampton proud through their work in defense of our country and their advanced work in aeronautics and space exploration. Indeed, our city is thrilled that the Research Center will be celebrating 100 years of service in 2017. Hampton is also seen as a scientific hub because of NASA and because of a host of companies that have located here because of its presence. We need to build on that legacy by encouraging more entrepreneurship in the technical arena. Ideas spawned in Hampton can become companies established in Hampton, creating good-paying jobs and all the benefits that go with that. We need to make sure that we focus on that. And I can't wait to see the new movie, Hidden Figures, based on a book written by Phoebus High School grad Margot Lee Shetterly. It chronicles the lives of the black female mathematicians at NASA, among them our very own Dr. Katherine Johnson, now 98 years old, who helped America win the space race. And just down the road from where Dr. Johnson did her pioneering work, a company called TE Connectivity is developing and manufacturing advanced sensors in a new clean room in Hampton. And while we're talking about technology and innovation, I'm very, very pleased to know that developer Bobby Freeman is creating a new 3-story e-commerce center at Todd Center to serve the needs of today's web-based entrepreneurs. The internet's what's driving world commerce and communications. It's making the globe smaller and our interactions faster. That's why we must be full speed ahead in Hampton. We have to stay current, and that must be reflected in the kinds of businesses that we seek to attract and grow, as well as in our educational system and in our city government. Hampton is defined by its vast waterfront, and we need to build on that brand. That's why WVS companies and Saunders Krauss architects are taking a hard look at our assets, including our seafood docks, and exploring ways that they can create residential and commercial development, including restaurants and other recreational options. Virginia Tech's Seafood Agriculture Research and Extension Service has been a fixture along our waterways for decades. We now have the opportunity to work with Tech to expand that research center into a National Institute of Seafood and Aquaculture. Visitors to Hampton are amazed at our downtown and its potential. We just need more of them. Our residents know it. We need to promote that further in Hampton Roads and across the region. This convention center is a gem, as is our Coliseum. They're icons along Interstate 64, but if you get off at any exit, you'll find much more. The Sportsplex, run by the incomparable Boo Williams, attracts tens of thousands of young men and women to Hampton each year for tournaments. Another 10,000 people came to Hampton last year for other kinds of athletic offerings, from Junior Olympics to the Crawling Crab 5K and half marathon to gymnastics. They eat in our restaurants and they stay in our hotels. Another reason why the first Hyatt-flagged hotel on the peninsula is coming to Hampton. And our focus on sports and health produces champions, including Bethel High School graduate and Hampton University alumna Francina McCory, who this past summer won her second Olympic gold medal in Rio in the 4x400 meter relay. And it's why we're studying the potential of building a new state-of-the-art aquatic center. It would not only benefit our residents, but it also could be a magnet for more recession-proof youth marketing, generating over an estimated $3.3 million in annual economic direct impact and double that amount in annual indirect economic impact. Now, thanks to the Bonnie Group, the Peninsula Town Center is continuing to grow and opening new stores. And indeed, River Point, formerly known as the Riverdale Shopping Center, is also undergoing expansion and renovation that will include a new Kroger Marketplace and an at-home. Our casual lifestyle is why several craft breweries have found success in Hampton, among them St. George, Ouzel Finch, and Boyle Island. A fourth, Capstan, is under construction, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Vanguard, a brewery, distillery, restaurant, and live entertainment venue that's scheduled to open in an 80-year-old treasure, the Hampton National Guard Armory Building. We're also looking forward to a new restaurant that will fill the space in a 111-year-old building that most recently was home to the Watkins Supply Company. The owners of the Dead Rise, the Barking Dog, Kismet, and El Diablo Loco, formerly Six, see potential there. And in fact, as you leave here today, I'll be standing outside the doors of this ballroom along with my fellow council members and leaders of our city. We'll be standing there both to thank you for attending and to hand you a goodie bag. And inside that goodie bag will be coupons for Hampton businesses. Folks, we cannot expect others from outside our region to frequent our fantastic retailers, restaurants, and other attractions unless we do so ourselves. Use the coupons. Invite your friends from Hampton Roads, from Richmond, from Charlottesville, from Roanoke, from Northern Virginia, from wherever they live, to come and visit. We must choose Hampton and we must encourage others to do so as well. Nothing is more important than public safety. It's one of the planks that I ran on in running for mayor, and it's not an area that I shy away from now that I am in this position. Hampton is a very safe city. Per capita violent crime in 2015 had us the third lowest in the region behind Virginia Beach and Suffolk. Still, Hampton, as in other cities in the country, is seeing an uptick. So we've got a three-pronged strategy to deal with that, to bring it under control. The first, we're going to create a gun task force that will analyze crimes and track illegal weapons. The second, we're going to hold more meetings with our communities and neighborhoods to encourage them to work more closely with our police department to make sure that they report known criminal activity and suspicious activity. And finally, we're going to increase the visibility of our police presence through bicycle patrols, as well as increased traffic stops in neighborhoods that have more crime. We're going to emphasize that we're going to maintain our professionalism when we do this, and we're also going to respect our citizens. Every day, thousands of students and hundreds of teachers, principals, and support staff head to school. They try hard because they realize what's at stake for themselves and the future of our society. I value education. I graduated from Duke University and I have a master's from Old Dominion. Each year, our city budgets over $200 million for this critical service. Every dollar is precious, as is every child. I'm pleased that 93% of our schools are either fully or partially accredited, but that's not good enough. I understand that so many families are undergoing stress and are dealing with issues that take their focus off of being able to focus strictly on education. Too many of our neighborhood schools are in neighborhoods that are challenged. But yet, if Andrews pre-K through 8 can go from unaccredited to fully accredited in 1 year, other schools can as well. Our dropout rate is 1/3 of what it used to be, but we can do better. Leadership, parental involvement, and community support are essential. So are higher expectations. I visit schools, and I will visit more. I grew up on dirt streets in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and I made it. I know that the children in our Hampton City schools can make it as well, but it's with our help and our encouragement. That's why our city manager asked you earlier to fill out those note cards on your table and write a note of confidence to our young people, from our adults to our kids. After this session is over, we're going to go out and deliver those. They need to know that we care. Now, some of you may wonder why I chose to present that video earlier today. Some of you may think it was a little corny, and others of you may wonder what kind of message I was trying to communicate. Now, some of you may view that video as maybe a simple story about my dream of trying to fulfill my desire to play organized football. But actually, it represents much more. It's actually a small window into a different side of me that most of the public doesn't see. It also is not only a small glimpse into my past, but I think it's a metaphor for our collective future. As we move this city forward, we collectively must be willing to step outside of our comfort zone. True leadership cannot lead from a place of fear, and real change can only be accomplished if all of us are willing to step into the arena. We will certainly face challenges and obstacles. Nothing worth doing is ever going to come easy, but I believe that collectively we are more than equal to any challenge that we will face. We cannot be afraid to take risks, but those risks have to be calculated risks based on research and preparation. We must have a well-defined vision of what we hope to achieve. We also have to recognize that while some parts of that vision will take some time to achieve, it is still our responsibility to continuously prepare ourselves to make sure that when those opportunities do present themselves, that we are ready to step forward. I do not have all the answers. And though we prepare for success as a city, we need to understand that we do not totally control our fate. Global economic forces, the climate, federal and state government, and world events impact our lives. But what we must do as individuals, as companies, as nonprofits, as public servants, is not to blame others and not to wait to take necessary steps that we need to move forward. We got to do it. We cannot sit around and wait. The world is moving full speed ahead, and we must be doing the same thing here in Hampton. Now, I got to go, and so do you. So, thank you for coming. Your time is valuable, and so are your ideas. Let's keep Hampton moving forward together, full speed ahead.